Hey, and welcome to the Drive and Dish podcast, the special holiday Christmas edition. We got all the Greenlight Network hosts with us. We got our man,
Dynamite Picks,
Dynamite David with us, and our man Achilles Rain with us. Achilles Rain is going to hit up the holiday NBA. Our man Dynamite David is going to hit up the Christmas special college basketball Big Ten. An exciting Christmas day full of action. All right, we ready to get into it?
I am ready.
Yeah, I'm psyched.
All right, let's start out in college basketball. All right, Dynamite, let's start out with the Michigan State-Wisconsin game. Where are we going?
This one's a bit of a toss-up. Both teams are playing pretty well. Wisconsin 7-1, Michigan State 6-1. But, you know, I look at this. I like the Big Ten games, the home team. Spartans have won 8 of their last 10 against the Badgers. So I'm going to take Michigan State plus the 1.5 here. I like the home team getting points.
Well, guess what? I'm on Michigan State as well. Coming off the loss to Northwestern, I think they'll bounce back. So I'm looking for Michigan State to have a good game here. I hope so, because I've been taking against Wisconsin for the last 2 weeks and been losing lots of money. So I could use a win for Wisconsin against Wisconsin here, because they've cost me pretty much every week by dominating pretty much everyone. All right, we'll move on to our next one. Maryland, Purdue. Where are we going?
This one I'm really confident in. I jumped on this one early. Purdue minus 4.5. It's now at 5.5 points. But they were on a really good 3-game stretch before they had a tough loss against the Iowa team, which included wins over Ohio State and Notre Dame. I think Purdue comes out really strong here and wins big against Maryland.
So I'm going the other way. There's a lot of bitterness pent up here with Purdue showing first Iowa the other day when I took Purdue. Very disappointed. So I
can't knock Purdue for that game, because Iowa, I think, is one of the best teams in the country. So,
yeah, I don't care. I'm bitter, and I'm taking my Terrapins plus the points to handle Purdue here. Purdue's cost me a couple times this year, so Christmas Day is all about spite betting. So I'm taking teams who have pretty much cost me money all year long. So I'm riding with Maryland plus the 5.5. All right, next game up, Nebraska, Michigan.
This one had me really frustrated more than any of the 4 games tomorrow. Nebraska's 4-4. They're not looking that great. Anytime they've played anybody good this year, they've lost. But like I said, the home teams in the Big Ten tend to succeed more, and really across all college basketball. But I'm going to roll with Michigan minus the 7.5. I think they're a much better team, and they've won 9 out of their last 10 against the Cornhuskers. So Michigan's going to win and cover the points.
All right. I'm going with Nebraska here. Now, this is not a spite one, because Nebraska has been pretty even with me on my betting all year long. They've covered some good ones. They've cost me on some good ones. They aren't quite as good as I thought they'd be. I thought Fred would have them flying and scoring a lot of points, and the only time they've really scored a lot of points is versus very, very bad teams. But they haven't spurned me, and Michigan hasn't spurned me too much. So I was in toss-up land, and I just wanted the home team with a lot of points. So I'm going to ride Michigan here with the 8. All right. Last game. We spoke on them before. I think we could probably hedge where I'm going in my spike betting, because I've been against this team all year and they keep screwing me over, except for one day versus Gonzaga, which was a nice, sweet win. But Minnesota, Iowa, where are we, Dynamite?
Yeah, this was another one of the easy picks out of the 4 for me. I got Iowa at minus 5.5. It's now at 6.5, but they're, I think, easily an Elite 8 team, and they just happened to run into probably the best team in the country in their last game, losing 99-88 against Gonzaga. But I like Iowa to bounce back big here. Even though they're on the road, they definitely cover the 5.5.
Yeah, I'm going with my boys, the Golden Gophers. Richard Pitino pride. I have no faith in this. My guess is Iowa probably puts 90 on them and Minnesota loses by 20. But at this point and on Christmas Day, I can't stand Iowa. And I pretty much hate Fran McCaffrey since the beginning of time. So anytime I can spike bet against Iowa, I'm going to do it. I'm going with the Minnesota Golden Gophers in a big upset here.
So we're head to head on 3 of the 4. I like it.
Yes, we are. But I don't know if logically I will be in love with any of these picks. I've just been angry.
We'll see where we're at on Saturday's Drive and Dish.
Yes, definitely so. All right. We've gone through the college slate, the Big Ten holiday special. Now we're going to move to our man in the Lakers Beanie NBA Christmas Day special games. Are you ready, Achilles?
Yeah, buddy, let's do this.
All right. So we'll start off with the noon game, the Miami Heat versus the New Orleans Hornets. Miami Heat, a disappointing showing versus Orlando. New Orleans, an encouraging showing yesterday. Where are we with this game?
Well, even though I still think, the opening game was a little bit of a I don't take too much from that game. I think that the Heat probably just had a bad game, but I think they're a much better team. I think they're probably a little bit better built than the Pelicans are, even though they played well in their last game. But, when I'm looking at this roster up and down, I know it's early in the season, but, Jay Crowder, Jimmy Butler, I like what the Heat have. I like what they have to offer. I kind of know what I'm getting from them. So I like the Heat at -4.5.
We're in agreement here. I like the Heat to bounce back from a very poor Orlando and take the Miami Heat -4.5 versus New Orleans. Okay, we'll move on to the biggest spread of the day. The Milwaukee Bucks coming off a disappointing missed free throw from Giannis versus the Golden State Warriors, who seem to not be able to defend or score right now. But can they cover this large spread? Where are we, Achilles?
I'm pretty sure that you're going to be on the opposite side of me with this, and maybe I just think it's too early in the season to really count that loss against Golden State. I know they didn't look that good defensively; they were pretty porous, and offensively, they were pretty much they did what they were supposed to do, but they just didn't get a lot of contribution from just about everyone, which is one of the reasons why they put up 99 points as opposed to what we're used to Golden State putting up. But at 10.5. I'm too scared to take Milwaukee at 10.5, so I'm going with Golden State at 10.5.
All right, I'm going with the Bucks -10. I think they'll run away with this. We'll get back on our Bucks regular season murderous train. Large win for the Milwaukee Bucks. Big day for Giannis. Great day for Middleton. Maybe even some Brook Lopez threes mixed in there.
James Wiseman's going to shine, baby.
All right, James Wiseman's going to shine. And we'll go with the team that just beat the Golden State Warriors. Everybody's darling now. ESPN's new team to win the title after one game. The Brooklyn Nets, -3 versus the Boston Celtics. What are we thinking?
Even though I like what the Celtics did the last game, they played really tough. I didn't think they really had a shot at winning that game. I thought that Giannis would dominate that game, but it was really tight. And, they came out and hit that game-winning shot at the end. Now, granted, they needed Giannis to miss that free throw. If he makes that free throw, we probably have a different story right now. But, it is what it is. They won that game. I just don't think they can do it against the Nets. I think the Nets are too heavily built. They've got a lot of really good players. Kevin Durant, Irving, LeVert. I think that they're a lot better than Boston is. I think Boston's going to be one of those teams. They're going to get wins off their matchups. I know my wife is going to hate me for this, but I'm going with the Nets at -3.5.
I am riding the Nets hot streak. I think they'll be hot early before Kyrie Irving decides to do some weird sort of meltdown and start making things weird. But early on, I look for Brooklyn to roll. I like the Brooklyn -3 here. Continued. Everybody love fest with the Brooklyn Nets early on in the season. All right, we'll go out west. Dallas Mavericks, disappointing loss to the Phoenix Suns yesterday. Los Angeles Lakers, disappointing loss to the Clippers. Where are we going here? Who's going to be in panic mode after an 0-2 start?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call it panic mode. The Lakers are built with a lot of veterans that have been there, done that. So I don't think they're too concerned about losing that opening. When was the last time that we really saw a defending champ win their opening game? It's been a while. They tend to be letdown games. So I'm not taking that. I'm not going to count it against them. And the Clippers, they're they play each other tough. You know, they play each other a lot, being both from LA. But I think that this particular game, I know you're going against me, but I'm going with the Lakers at -6.5.
I'm going with the Dallas Mavericks. Luka to put on a show. He did turn his ankle. If Luka doesn't play, I'm not taking the Dallas Mavericks. Just to put that in there.
MVP.
But I like Dallas plus the 6 as long as Luka's playing. I think this will at least be a tight game. So Dallas Mavericks plus the 6. And the final game, the nightcap. Denver Nuggets, Los Angeles Clippers. An exciting fest, a rematch of the playoff meltdown from the Clippers. Do the Demons come back? Who do you have?
You know, for a second there, when I was looking at this game, I was like, okay, 2.5. I kind of like Denver. I kind of like what they did last season. You know, can they do it again? Maybe not in the regular season. So I'm going with the Clippers at -2.5.
He's all in on Paul George, early season George.
You know, I'll admit it. I wanted him in the Lakers. I don't because of who we have now. But at one point, I wanted him in the Lakers. So I'm not going to hate on the guy just because he's a Clipper.
Well, I'm riding with my Denver Nuggets. A little Jokic Murray bounce back game after a poor game yesterday. So I'm going Denver Nuggets minus the 2.5. All right. That's the Drive-In Dish holiday special. Where can we find you, Dynamite?
You can always follow me on @GLNDynamite_D on Twitter.
And where can we find you, Achilles?
You can find me on Twitter, TD Achilles. You can find me on Instagram at TD Achilles as well.
You can find all our shows on greenlightnetwork.org. I'm GLN Champ 5 on both Twitter and Instagram. That's our show, and we're out.